Hey, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you how I added some raised beds in this space. So this is just outside of our flower farm, and this area gets a lot of deer pressure, so I'm going to be putting in things that are deer resistant. So here I am setting up these new beds. I bought these off Amazon. They're Vivo Sun. I'll link them below. They seem to be pretty good quality, and once I got the first bed figured, it's pretty simple to assemble the other two. So yeah, I have three of these. They are about 1 foot high, 3 foot wide, and 7 by 3 feet wide. So there they are, all settled in. I was quite happy with installation. I think it's a good use of space instead of just having empty gravel. And then next was to go get soil. So we have a company that sells really good soil and rock. It's not too far from us, so I quickly zipped over there to get some soil to fill the beds with. And here they are dumping it in the truck. We've used this soil before and we've had pretty good success. It has quite a good mixture in it. So then we brought it back home, and yes, my daughter and husband offered to move it for me. There are no bottoms in these beds. They are just sort of raised containers. So I added landscape fabric to the bottom just to hold the soil in so it wouldn't spill out onto the gravel. And then it came with a rubber edge so that you wouldn't scratch yourself on the metal edge. So I was putting on the rubber edge while my husband and lovely daughter were emptying out the soil into these beds. And thankfully the back of the truck filled just enough of the 3 raised beds. Here they are, all filled up and ready to go. It is such a satisfying thing to have new planting areas and just fresh garden soil to use. And here we are at the present day. You can see the daffodils are just starting to go over. My allium will be next. I'm adding these arbors I found on Amazon. Hey, welcome back. So I have added these 3 raised planter beds. I bought these off Amazon, and the install was actually very easy. Once I figured out one, I quickly made the other 2. And then of course we filled them up with soil. My daughter and my husband actually offered to fill them up for me, so they did that. And these are actually bottomless raised beds. So I did put landscape fabric on the bottom just to hold the soil in so that we wouldn't get it all over the gravel here. I purchased these arches off of Amazon. They're not the strongest, but I think they'll be fine, as honeysuckle is quite a vigorous vine. So these are what I plan to plant on 2 of the arches. On either ends, I have 2 different types of honeysuckle. I believe this one is called a harlequin. Then this other one, which is blooming right now actually, is called gold flame. And honeysuckles are quite a vigorous vine. I think they will quickly take over these arches and make this space look really beautiful, which is what I'm hoping for. I've already planted my dahlia tubers in here that I have stored over the winter in my basement. And then I also have some new dahlias I bought from Breck's Bulbs. These are the Festive Jowie Mix. They are part of the series of Jowie, so that is a mixture. Beautiful corals and salmons and pinks, and I'm really excited to add these. And in my typical fashion, I'm doing things a little bit backwards. I've already planted, I'm not sure where. Some of them are starting to sprout up, but I'm gonna have to find an area that has not been planted to add these. I've got 5 of these. So that's what I'm gonna be doing today. I'm gonna be planting these honeysuckle and then adding these 5 dahlias, and then this space should be complete. I still need to add irrigation, some drip lines to this. I have been hand watering, which is a little bit tedious, so I'm telling myself just get the irrigation drip done. It'll actually save me a lot of time, so maybe I'll get to that today. All right, so let's get these planted. So honeysuckles are quite a easygoing plant. They can handle full sun to part shade, so I'm thinking they'll be fine. And dahlias do prefer full sun, but I think with the amount of sun exposure they get down here, I think it should be fine, even if the vine does block them for a couple hours. All right, so I'm going to find a hole here to dig. Hopefully I haven't put a dahlia. Oh yeah, there's a dahlia tuber in there. So I'm going to be moving this one. I bet you there's a spot right here. All right, there is one done, and I'm going to take off the tag. Okay, the Harlequin honeysuckle is going to go on this side. I just love the variegated leaves on this one, so I'm thinking I'll see this one a little bit more often, so I'm going to put it here. Okay, that one is in too. It came with some of these little clips, so I think I'm going to use it to clip this one up here. I should probably pick up a few more of these clips. That's really handy. Okay, I see one of my dahlias has sprouted right over here, but as I remember, I don't think I was planting this bed as full as the other two, so I think my chances of adding these 5 are a little bit better in this bed. So we're going to see if I have room to add these 5 in. And it's a good practice to check if there are eyes on the dahlias you purchased, because that'll give you a good indicator if there is a viability in these tubers to give you blooms. So it's pretty sad, but out of the 5 tubers, I'm pretty sure only 2 of them have eyes. I'm going to be planting the rest because they don't seem like they're rotten or too dried out. But sometimes in travel they do tend to break. Like this one, all of the necks have broken on the tubers, so I don't think there's a good chance of them coming, but I'm going to plant them anyway. I will show you what the eyes look like on these. There it is right there. And then there's one on this one. So pretty disappointing. I might have to email the company and let them know that I only got 2 out of the 5, which is too bad. So dahlias want to be planted at least 2 inches under the soil. So total would be 4 or 5 inches if you're including the depth of the actual tuber. But about 2 inches of soil on top of the tuber is what I usually do. And there we go, that's done. So yeah, like I said, I'm still gonna plant these ones in hopes that I'm wrong. Maybe they will come back. But I'm not super hopeful. So as you can see, we are here at the flower farm. I have deer-resistant varieties out here. Last year I put my dahlias in the bed behind me, but last fall, actually I planted some fall bulbs, daffodils, iris, and allium. You can see they are coming up now, mixed in with some more perennials that'll hopefully take the place of the spring bulbs. And now I have these 3 beds, which is my new home for all of my dahlias. These arches I also added. I have honeysuckles climbing up both sides. I think it's going to be quite beautiful and a nice sort of entryway before we get into the actual flower farm. So as you can see, this area is quite sloped. I had thought about leveling off these beds to make them a little bit more level, but once I had them in place, I didn't think it looked too bad. It's sort of an optical illusion if you think about it like that. We've got the fence, which is on an angle, the beds that are on an angle, and then we have these that are also on an angle. So it's just, it is what it is. It just adds character, I guess. Well, that is it for today. I'm still going to be adding some irrigation to these beds so I don't have to hand water, but I'm super thrilled to have a larger space for my dahlias, and then of course some beautiful vines, which are just absolutely my favorite to have in the garden. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.